When I was a child, we visited the extended family in Cuba as often as we could afford to. And so, because my father was a teacher, he had the summers off. So it was always a long 3-month visit, full 3 months, and I developed a very deep attachment to my grandmother and great-grandmother, aunts, uncles, and cousins, and also to the tropical nature in Cuba. My experience was really not so much in Havana as for so many people that you meet in the United States often have come from Havana. It was the smaller town of Trinidad and the nearby farms. So for me, being from Los Angeles, a big urban area, going to Cuba for the summer and getting to be out in wild places was the most amazing experience. And I just fell in love with farms, with wilderness, with nature. And that was really one of the main influences in my first career choice, which was I studied agronomy and botany because I loved farms and plants so much. And then I gradually combined that with writing. Our last childhood visit was in 1960. It was the summer that diplomatic relations between the U.S. and Cuba really broke down, and we actually had a hard time getting out. My mother was still a Cuban citizen at the time. After that, there was the Bay of Pigs invasion, and then the missile crisis, and travel just became impossible. So for me, as a child, it was as if Cuba had fallen out of the solar system. It was like science fiction. I had this huge extended family, and then suddenly they were gone. They were unavailable, and it was as if they didn't exist because communication was also restricted from both sides. You were suspect if you were writing letters to Cuba or making phone calls, and in Cuba, of course, you were suspect if you were writing letters or making phone calls to the United States. So for many, many years, contact was basically cut off. We did manage to stay in touch with my grandmother, but not most of the extended family.